We got auto qualifiers. We got more auto qualifiers on the U.S. side, which is exciting. Harris English, Xander, Scotty, Bryson, Russ Henley. Those are some names that are automatically qualified on Keegan Bradley's team. Some of the players that are going to need a captain's pick. You got obviously JT, you got Morikawa, Ben G, Keegan himself, Cam Young, your boy, Pat Cantlay, Maverick McNeely, interesting name there, I think. Chris Goddard, or
Sam
some
Burns.
kind of the names. Sam Burns, Jay Spieth, which I don't think is going to get picked. I just don't see it at this point. But who the heck knows? Does it feel like the American team is just all over the place to you?
Okay. Well, I was going to bring this up when you were talking Xander, and I was putting together almost a ranking mechanism this morning called the Big Boy Barometer.
Okay.
And to be a big boy, Shane, this is someone who's been there. He's done that. They're in good enough form. Coming down the stretch of a match, you're like, I want this guy in my corner, right? Like you have faith in him in a high leverage, pressure packed moment. And I think as it stands right now, the U.S. only has two big boys. It's Scotty Scheffler and Bryson DeChambeau.
Okay.
And the European side, and we could get into this, I have them at 5 in the context of the Ryder Cup. Rory, Rahm, Fleetwood, Rose, and Hovland. I have a current big boys. And then the second tier, Shane, I guess just boys. And then we'll get to little boys at the very bottom.
Medium boys?
Yeah, medium boys, question marks around them. They could they've done it before, but maybe the form's a little off. Xander, I would say, is one of them. Cantlay, potentially one of them. JT and Morikawa also. And then for the Europes, it's Ludwig, is he going to be able to jump into the big boy echelon?
Playing better golf, which is good to see.
Bobby Mack and Fitzpatrick I have.
Golly, how are the Americans favored in this thing? I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't know either, because I've been beating the drum for them. And once I went through the big boy barometer, as Josh said, shout out to LeVar Ball, Big Baller brand. We might have some trademark issuing here with Triple B here. It really made it clear that the Europeans are in a much better spot.
Oh, it's just not even close. By the way, JJ Spawn also automatically qualified. Did not mention him. I've made this point. I'll continue to make this point. The Americans feel very much like the international President's Cup teams from years past. The top side of it is completely fine. The bottom half looks like it's all over the place. And you could pick one of, 7 names. I mean, you mentioned Burns. I mean, you could keep going down the list as we've talked so much about on the U.S. side. I mean, Wyndham Clark 17. It's like I don't think Novak's going to get picked at 13. You got Keegan there floating around. I'm kind of feeling like he's not going to pick himself at this point, which is kind of wild considering the discourse over the last couple of months. But I just have no clue. I've got no idea where they're going to go here. I have no idea. Like, is it recent form? Is it not? I heard somebody on the broadcast the other day mentioning that Justin Thomas and Keegan were playing together, and that might be a big part of the of who gets picked. Which it's like if we're going down that road at this point with a guy that has been one of the best Americans over the last 10 years, we truly don't know where anybody is going. But it's not good. It's just not good if you're a U.S. fan. It really isn't good. And I like Thursday, I did HQ and they got the leaderboard up and it's like Victor and Ludwig and Bobby Mack and Rose was there. And you're kind of looking and the only American is Scotty, and it's just the only, like Scotty can only play 5 matches. I mean, that's all he can play. And I mean, he can go 5-0 and they can still get absolutely smoked.
Yeah. The Ryder Cup is really that meme from earlier in the year, 100 humans versus 1 gorilla. That is what it turned into. And Scotty Scheffler is the gorilla for the U.S.
That's a great call. That's your best point of the pod. That's the best point of the show right there to this point. And you've made some great points.
Yeah, I have no idea. Like Novak, I think finished 20 over this week.
Yeah,
so he's definitely out. And then Goddard was 6 over. Didn't play great. I think like Cam Young's locked in. Honestly,
I think so too.
He's playing like some of the better golf.
I mean, I think he's like in the middling crew you're talking about. When you're thinking about those players, it's like when you're just simply talking about skill set and talent right this second, he's probably the third best American player right now, maybe fourth. I mean, it's maybe third, maybe second. I mean, I don't know what Bryson's been doing on Live, but I don't think, I think you and I talk a lot about, we're pretty pro Bryson in terms of his game, because I think the skill set at this golf course fits perfectly into his hands. But it isn't like Bryson's had some incredible season. He's played well. He played well earlier in the season. But, I don't think Bryson's played out of his mind. Like, I think we kind of look back at some of the finishes, obviously being in the final pairing at Augusta and, having an opportunity, to win. I don't think it's been the best Bryson season by any stretch. I don't think he's played as well as he played last year.
No, it's definitely not as consistent. And when you're Bryson DeChambeau, you are expected to win multiple times on Live Golf, right? Like when you're that quality of player, and to only win once this year back in May, the week before or a couple weeks before the PGA Championship, probably a little disappointed with himself. I'm looking at his numbers now. Short game has been kind of actually very bad the past couple of months. The iron play's actually gotten better, so at least that's coming around for him.
European side auto qualifiers, we got Rory, we got Bobby Mack, we got Fleetwood, we got Jay Rose. Shout out Justin Rose, by the way. We know we talked about it last week, but my goodness, I just the bounce back the second part of this season has been really cool. Tyrrell Hatton automatically qualifying as well. Right now it's Lowry 6, Sepp 7, Rasmus is 8, Ludwig 9, Victor 10, Matt Wallace 11, and shout out to Matt Fitzpatrick, who was well down the board when we started to talk about this. Is Fitzy at 12. And those, by the way, those qualifications are mathematically qualified on the European side, even though, I mean, they're going to get in. So that is it's just like you said, kind of heavy hitters, basically 1 through 12. And not to mention Ariel's 17, our boy John Perry at 19, put him on the team.
What's Marco Simone Penge at?
He is 14, moved up 6 spots. So probably not going to make it, but he's making that late push, and we shall see. Really 1 spot left for the Euros to figure out, and I can only imagine Eduardo and Luke are deep diving on which person makes the most sense for a certain player to play alongside. But they're trending, they're bucking. They played great this year after a little bit of they had an early season run, kind of fell off, and then they seems like they're back to playing collectively some really good golf. Outside of Rory, I mean, like I said, Rory kind of going through the motions, but I'm imagining he's probably going to dial it in once they get closer and closer to that.
Yeah, he's slowly starting right now. Then he has the Irish Open, the BMW PGA 2, and then he'll be fine come Beth Page.
Anything else on Ryder Cup on your end? What are we? We're about 5 weeks out. Is that about right?
I think so. Yeah, I would just say the one thing I was like, I don't know if Rasmus Højgaard should be on this team, and then he almost wins the golf tournament. So good to know we still have that effect on players, Shane.
Yeah, we can do that. We picked? Did we both pick Xander this past week? Was that who we had?
It goes both ways. The effect we have on players.
Not ideal there. That did not go our way. Poor Xander headed home. Who's your 12th pick on the European side? Do you have one that you'd be comfortable going with?
Both the Højgaards. Just one can play one day, the other the next. I see. Like it seems like it's gonna be Rasmus at this point.
Yeah, I think so as well. I think it's going to be Rasmus as well. Where is Rahm, by the way? It's so funny when you look at this list and you realize, like, when you're looking at the top 12 and you always forget John Rahm's on the list, yet he's on the team. It's just weird. The whole live.
Rahm's
thing.
by 12.
But that
Rahm's by 12.
Rahm, put him in at 12.